Alright, come on. Go.
How you going, guys? Curtis from Cutting Edge Engineering. So we recently did a video where we made an adapter from a BT50 to suit our hydroptic number 6 tooling. In that video, we did show that we had quite a big variety of tooling that we were able to get our hands on. Because so many of you were interested in seeing it, today we're going to give you a closer look at what we got. So all of this tooling has had very little use, and some of it has actually had no use at all. Some of the tools still have their wax coating on them. They were also stored in a temperature controlled environment their entire life. So we are very lucky to have this tooling that is in near new condition and that you cannot buy today. We're going to get started with what we've got displayed on the bench. So what we have is a complete set of end mills with the Morse taper arbor on one end, and then we also have a full set of drills. So our end mills range from 3/4 of an inch up to 1.5 inches, and we have doubles of every size. One is for aluminium and one is for steel. So we also have a very large variety of twist drills. There are 26 sizes here. They go from 540 thou up to 2,315 thou. In metric, the smallest diameter drill is 13.75 millimeters and the largest drill is 58.85 millimeters. I believe these would have been used for roughing out a hole, and then you would use the boring heads to machine them to spec, because none of these sizes are standard. They are all quite odd. They're very good, thank you. Every time I walk past the fridge, grab a handful for a bit of cream. So what we have behind the drills and the end mills is a collet system. It is not a genuine SIP tool, but they were manufactured for SIP. These are quite unique because of the way the collet system actually works. They are similar to a ER50 collet, but the taper on those is slightly different, and in the bottom of the collets it does have a thread and a center to use the old school style of end mills. They are extremely precise for the high precision machines. This system has both metric and imperial collets. It goes from 6 mil or 1/4 of an inch up to 25 mil or 1 inch.
Ooh.
This one looks like it's being used. So it's a baby auto lock system.
Made in England.
Right, so I also got these two face cutters. They are 150 mil in diameter. One of the cutters has 6 tools in it and the other cutter has 4. They are also set up the same way as the end mills, where one is for steel and one is for aluminium. We also got 3 90-degree face mills with matching arbors. All 3 of them are 100 mil in diameter. One of them is designed to cut aluminium and the other 2 are for steel. So we also got 3 cases of hydroptic instruments. The first box unfortunately is incomplete. So I have seen pictures of this, and what I can work it out to be is used as a setup device for finding the center of a hole.
Ooh. Whoa.
Oh, that's used for indexing.
Ooh.
So all those instruments are used for the setting up of a job on the machine. Along with all the tooling, I did get some pamphlets and some manuals about the machine and its accessories. So the very first catalogue, it is for the instruments, which will tell us a lot of the information we need to know about all the measuring equipment and the instruments that were supplied with the jig borer. Brochure tables. Most of this is in that cabinet. So there is quite a few other books of technical instructions. There are also measuring books with your charts for different degrees and different angles. There is a few service books in there for looking after the rotary table and the machine itself. But one of the nicer bits of paperwork that we found is a sales catalogue, and it's in pristine condition. It is nearly perfect for something that is over 70 years old, and it does show you what SIP machines were available at that time, as well as the accessories and what tooling was available.
Wow, that's very nice.
And something else we found in amongst the paperwork was the original receipt for a hydroptic 6A and all of the tooling and accessories that we now have. So the machine at that time was 13,500 sterling, and the final bill was £20,984. Based on inflation, that amount today is £604,000. And in amongst all the paperwork, we can see that the machine was purchased in 1958. And something else I found in the paperwork, which is really cool, is a list of the jig borer machines that were commissioned and installed here in Australia up to 1958. A nice piece of paper like this just shows the provenance of where things came from and where we are today. There is a list of over 40 machines that were installed, and they range from the smallest MP1 up to the 8P. A lot of those machines were put into places like Holden, Ford, defence contracts, tooling factories, the railway works. There was a lot of machines here at one stage. So a lot of these factories aren't even around anymore. Most of those machines probably ended up being sold at auction or even being scrapped, which is very unfortunate. Right, so that's just what we've got here on the bench. There is an original Genovese SIP tooling cabinet behind me, which is full of tools and equipment as well. So this tool cabinet was the piece of the deal that I really wanted. You cannot get anything like this today. These were built so well and so well thought out that no one has come close to being able to store tools like SIP were. So we're going to show you what's on each of the shelves.
Ooh.
So this top shelf has all of the measuring equipment in it. So you do have a old school style coaxial dial indicator.
Cool.
Onto that. And then you spin it. You have a few center finders, and you do have an optic for looking from the spindle down to a known position where you're about to drill a hole. It also has the main optic that is used for leveling the machine or leveling a job. Everyone listen to this. Solid. On this shelf we have all the adjustable boring heads, and they do range from very small up to 12 inches once it has had its extensions put on it. These are all super high precision. There is pretty much nothing on the market today that can match these for how precise they are. Listening? On this shelf we have a very high precision collet set. These are very unique to the SIP machines and the way they are assembled. There is a very big variety of collets in there and different holders, so you can have multiple tools set up in order to use them. In this shelf, we do have the facing and boring head, many different length of holders, and 2 crossbars that go in the facing head to reach the different diameters. There is also a safety plug here that goes into a SIP jig borer in order to stop the spindle from rotating when you're doing service work on it and you don't accidentally turn it on and hurt yourself. And what looks like it looks like a lint roller. It isn't. It is actually an original SIP Morse taper cleaner. So on this shelf we do have all of the original tool bits that go in the boring and facing heads. They are quite unique to SIP because they do have a slot machined in the end of them, and that is what is used to advance them and hold them in the right position before you tighten them up and lock them in place. Well, here you go. So inside the boring head, you undo that screw there and you can take the tool out, but you actually turn it and there's a little peg comes down that picks up that slot and it actually pushes it out. You re-lock it using your grub screw, but that's how they work. Amazingly, you won't be able to see it. Oh, there it is there. There is actually a screw there. It's been installed and then machined flat. I found it the hard way. So that screw, you undo that, you got to get it out, you can take that bottom cap off and you can pull them apart. There are ones. So that'd be for cutting an internal groove.
Right.
What is that? That shouldn't be in there. 20 by 16. It's a gauge. The other 2 shelves I think just hold bugger all. Yep. So on the bottom shelf we've actually found quite a variety of specialised tooling for the SIP machines. So that was our SIP tooling cabinet and all of its accessories, but there are a couple of unique tools that I'd still like to show you. These are grinding fixtures, so you can resharpen the tool bits for your boring and facing heads. You have one for your smaller bits and one for your larger ones. So that's a standard tool bit for a boring head. So the way these grinding fixtures work, you put your little tool bit in there, you lock it into position, and then you can use it on a surface grinder or a tool grinder in order to regrind the tool bit to the correct shape. The blocks are actually made to the set geometry of the original tooling. So this last item I'd like to show you, it is probably the biggest wow factor to the collection of tools that we have got. This is the original test block that was machined on the 6A that all of this tooling came with. What the test block is, it is 2 plates that are machined on opposite ends of the bed, and one is in a completely different orientation to the other one. And the SIP installers, along with their machinists, they would then do a sample piece to prove how accurate the machine actually was after it had been installed. Right, so that is our collection of this amazing SIP tooling, but there is one more thing I'd like you to see. Our shop-made adapter is back from its tufftride treatment, and we have a job we'd like to test it on. So I'm going to go set it up in the machine and put it to the test. So its first job is going to be boring out an eye off an EX1200 bucket cylinder rod.
You get him. You get him. Yeah, good.
Oh, he's...
Hey, you two. Get him. Good, get.
Whoop.
Yeah.
So this performed exceptionally well considering how long the adapter actually is. I took some pretty heavy cuts and then some finer cuts, and the surface finish in the eye turned out very, very good. So I'm extremely happy with how the boring head is performing. I hope you all enjoyed seeing the variety of SIP tooling we've got. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Right, you ready?
Yep,
Right, you ready?
I'm ready, yes.
Right, so, oh wait, how are we getting started? How you going guys? Curtis from Cutting Edge Engineering. So we recently did a video, oh fuck no. How you going guys? Curtis from Cutting Edge Engineering. So you might remember we, oh fuck. How you going guys? Curtis from Cutting Edge Engineering. So you might, oh fuck.
He's got it, yep.
How you going guys? Curtis from Cutting Edge Engineering. So we recently, what was after that?
Oh Lord, help me Jesus.
You go. What was after that?
Just give me a minute.
Right, go.
No, don't rush me, I need a minute.
What for?
Just to prepare
Embrace.
myself.
Embrace.
No.
Right, ready?
I'm ready, yeah.
Right, so.
Wow, wow.
And just how they work is pretty cool. I don't say pretty cool.
Well, it's in your words.
It's fucking sweet.
Boxes? What do you call these?
Well, cases. So we've got a couple of boxes of instruments.
Cases.
Right. So we've got a couple of cases of instruments. The first box is incomplete.
Sorry.
What?
Can you say hydroptic? I just imagine you pulling out a trumpet.
Oh, right.
Hydroptic instruments.
So we also got 3 cases. They are full of instruments.
Stop.
Fuck! So we also and show you every drawer and what it does. Well, it's not really a drawer. So I'm going to go through this and show you what's in each. It's not really a drawer, they're a layer. In this shelf, oh, it's actually a drawer, isn't it? And using just and the surface finish was really, really good. I'm really happy with how it's all turned out. A lot of reallys. Right, so, wait, how to start it?
Swath balls. So shiny.